Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a late night hot take. I am fading fast. I am full of turkey leftovers. I fed a little bit to Little Joan, who I think is calming down. Um, Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books, Wokistan, a novel, and the sequel out now, Hollywoke, another novel. Also available, the Pineys, books 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now available, all at Amazon.com, trade paperback. You can order it, and it's wonderful. Links in the description. Okay, so the Democrats are in a fight over who should serve as Biden's agricultural secretary, as influential party members push for black congresswoman to be picked. Substitute a different race, and that sounds pretty racist. It's racist because it is. Pushing somebody for a job because of their race is racist. I mean, it's discrimination. It has nothing to do with her abilities. Now, she might be totally qualified. Why not talk about that? Because everything's about race these days. Everything. Congressman James Clyburn is pushing for the president-elect, he's not the president-elect yet, to name Representative Marcia Fudge to the role. Yes, that's her actual name, Marcia Fudge. Clyburn says the agricultural department is currently too focused on overwhelmingly white Midwestern states and needs to include the diverse South. Racist. Now you're going to make farming racist. I mean, it never ends. It never effing ends. This is the problem with the Democratic Party right now. Everything's about race. Everything. Critical race theory is coming. If Biden gets in, it's just coming a lot faster. And this kind of stuff, first off, it's, unless they dismantle anti-discrimination laws, it's totally illegal. You're going to have people suing and suing and suing the government while politicians stand around going, well, I don't know why we're being sued. We were just trying to make things right for everybody. Yeah, you can't. There's just some things politicians can't do. There's no way you can level the playing field for every single person based on their race. It doesn't work that way. Race sometimes has nothing to do with your economic background. Sometimes it does. But a lot of times it doesn't. And, you know, are you going to try to cure every ill from every perceived historical slight going back hundreds of years? How far do you go back? I mean, this is something we explored in Wokistan. And the joke was, you know, they were working on reparations, but not just reparations for people who have been slaves. They went all the way back to the building of the pyramids and tried to figure out how much, you know, the Israelites were owed by the Egyptians. I mean, you know, it was a satire. It was ridiculous, but we're not that much far away from that when you're talking about trying to figure out, okay, how can we, you know, do reparations for people just enslaved in the United States, you know, back in the 1800s and before. I mean, it's impossible. You know, the records aren't all there. And even if they were, what do you do about people who are like 4 or 5 generations removed and mixed races and mixed with people who never were slaves and or weren't slaves? You know, how do you even begin to calculate? You can't. It's impossible. And where do you get the money from? You get the money from taxes? Well, it doesn't make any sense to get the money from all the taxes, right? You'd have to get it just from the people who you perceive as the detractors, the slave owners' descendants, I guess. But, I mean, those people don't have anything to do with slavery. The slavers died hundreds of years ago. They're all dead. So you can't calculate this. You can't calculate it. It's impossible. It wouldn't be fair. It would just be printing a bunch of money and handing it to a certain race of people and ignoring other people. and it wouldn't make things right, and people would complain about it. It would make no one happy. It would make more people unhappy than it would make people happy. Um, you'd be giving money to rich people because not all black people are poor. There's plenty of rich black people. Um, you're going to give them tax money? It doesn't make any sense. So you can't fix this. It's impossible. But what you can do is you move forward. Moving forward, you could try to be nice and positive and not obsessed with race. But this is exactly what the left is doing now. They're now obsessed with race. It used to be the right was obsessed with race for the reason that, oh, no, we can't have people of different races mixing together. That'll be a disaster. That's the way they thought. And they were wrong. And who told them they were wrong? Progressives, real progressives. People who were on the left side of politics, the hippies, they said, no, we're all people. We're all people, we're all the same, with just different color skin, that doesn't matter. Now you have people trying to pull the same sort of segregation and racism that the right did. They're just coming at it from a different angle. Their angle is, oh no, we got to fix this. It's not fair. Now it's not fair. It's not about fair. You can't fix it. It's impossible. It's just impossible. So, this is more posturing and virtue signaling by the Democrats that are going to hurt them in the long run. Now, I don't know. I mean, maybe Marcia Fudge is perfectly qualified. I mean, she says one good thing here, or Clyburn did. Clyburn told the publication he believes the Department of Agriculture should undergo drastic change, claiming it currently favors big farming interests over little farmers in Clarendon County, South Carolina, or food stamp recipients in Cleveland, Ohio. I don't know what the last part of that means. I don't know how food stamp recipients are connected to agriculture, but certainly that would be good if you actually help the small farmers. But the way to help them is by removing the restraints on them and making them, freer of taxes and rules that cost these small farmers money. And that may mean that you remove some of the rules, like where they can dump water, wastewater, and things like that. See, you don't want to do that because you're also green and environmentally friendly. But being on a farm is not necessarily always environmentally friendly. Farmers have to use pesticides. And me, being the SJW I asked my dad one time, I'm like, why are you using all these pesticides? I don't like pesticides, Dad, because he has his own little farm. And oh no, you okay, doggy? What happened? Oh no, doggy fell. You okay? What happened? Jesus. You all right? Let's make sure you're okay. You okay? Did you hit your head? You okay? Let me see. Are you mad? You fell right off the chair. You okay? What happened? I had you on the chair. Were you just leaning until you fell? I think so. We're going to look at the footage after this is over. We'll see. We'll see what we can do to prevent that in the future, okay? Here, I'm going to push you back now. Okay. All right, now stay there. Jeez, I better wrap this. Anyhow, my point is, she is, or Clyburn at least says, he also claimed the department is disproportionately focused on majority white states in the Midwest and the food agricultural needs in the rural South largely neglecting. Oh, now I guess you're genuinely mad at me. Here, I'll put you on my lap. How about that? I'm so sorry you fell off the chair. I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, I think you got my point. It's more racial equity nonsense that they could hammer it into, the agricultural department. I mean, this is how bad it is. This is how bad critical race theory is. So, it's never going to end until we prove these people are insane. Until we finally draw a line and say, no, no, we don't discriminate. Until we call out critical race theory for what it is, racism, this is going to continue. And unfortunately, under a Biden administration, a lot of it's going to continue.